my name is Gabby and welcome back to my channel, Gabby on Paper. Today's video is going to be July's budget with me. So we're going to go through and allocate some money to each of my spending categories and yeah, let's go ahead and get started. So first, I guess I will start with the paydays, obviously. I got paid semi-monthly on the 5th and the 20th. So 5th and 20th, and this is from I only have one job, so just my job. And let's see here. Well, I guess I don't need this. So I still don't know exactly how much my semi-monthly paychecks will be because my very first paycheck didn't have any deductions. My second paycheck had some extra deductions. I don't really know what happened, why they couldn't do it on the first one, but the point is they had extra deductions on the second paycheck. So I know that I'm somewhere in the middle. I'm going to under budget, but I don't think it's going to be by a lot. Because I think I'll be pretty close to this. So I think it'll be $18.25 for each since I am salaried. And then down here I'll write the total since there's no line for it, which would be, let's see, $18.25 times 2. $36.50. I guess I could have done that math in my head, but okay. Let's see. So we have rent due on the 1st, and that is the typical $1,118. The utility fee that we pay to our building along with the rent is $60, and then our only single electricity or utility bill is our electricity, $24.50, which doesn't change. This month, my boyfriend has agreed to split the Peloton charge with me because he uses it as well, and I've been paying it this entire time. Because it was my purchase. He wouldn't have purchased it, but he decided since he does use it, that he'll split it with me. So that went up to $47.18 from about $42. So divided by 2 is $23.59 is how much I expect to pay going forward. And something to know about this is we are actually going to call Peloton to see if we can pay. I didn't see any options online, but I read a little note that you could potentially do a pay for so many months in advance. I think we're gonna try and do that and submit for work reimbursement. I think we can get up to $250, or through my boyfriend's job, get up to $250 back from the Peloton membership per year. So that might actually be a lot higher if we get that done, if we're able to, for the month, but it would cover it for many months. So we'll see. AT&T should be my normal amount, which I have completely spaced. It's $77.81. Subscriptions, $39.91, and that includes my sticker subscription, Hulu, Netflix, and Apple One, and those 3 I split with my boyfriend and my sister. Gap, $35. As you notice, my Nordstrom card is not on here, and that is because I've already paid for July, and I will have a debt update soon on what I have decided to do. It's just for the meantime, I'm gonna include the minimum payments here. So Gap is $35, and then Apple is $83.75, and that again is just for an iPad that I purchased that I was making monthly payments on. It's 0% interest. So Let's go ahead and add that up. $1462.56. I'm just gonna take a second to double check that because I just never know. Yeah, $1462.56. All right, this is the real fun stuff because this really doesn't change much. The variable expenses is where I struggle, obviously, because I can go over budget when these are just steady paycheck or bills that I pay every month that don't really fluctuate too much. So groceries, I had decreased it by a little bit the last couple months, down to $230 in June, but I think I'm gonna bring it back up to $250 because I will be eating at home more since I'm gonna be starting working from home 2 days per week this week, the week that this video goes up. So this video will go up on Tuesday, and my first day working from home will be on Wednesday, and then it'll be in a hybrid schedule. And I think once I know that I'm set up and everything's good and I've kind of learned my job, that the working from home days should increase. But for now, it'll just be 2 days per week. So $250 for my groceries. Dining out, June has been chaos with dining out. With my sister visiting for 2 weeks, we had a trip, and then just working from the office, I blew through my dining out budget. I'm gonna increase it this month because I'll still be in the office. We do have a visitor. It's only one weekend, but I know we'll be eating out a lot. We already planned out some restaurants, so and they're not really cheap. So I'm gonna increase my budget again for this month in hopes that I can keep it, under the $300 budget that I set, but I guess we'll see. For hobbies, I'm gonna do $25. Shopping's gonna be $75. I think I've decided that even though I'm giving myself a budget for each of these categories, I'm gonna kind of treat them a little bit like interchangeably. If I go over a little bit in hobbies, I'll just take from the shopping category and vice versa. But ideally, I would stick to these amounts for each of those. Home will get $25, as always. It's just things always seem to pop up, little tiny things that we need for the house, so that's what that category is for. Entertainment, we are doing some of our bucket list items this month. We are for sure going to a Cubs game, which I actually bought the ticket in June, so that's coming out of my June category, which is good because it was very pricey. And then we're gonna go to a White Sox game, which is a lot cheaper. So there's that. There's a couple of movies coming out that we wanna go see. And then, just some other like summer type activities. So I'm giving myself $100 for entertainment. Considering that I've already purchased one of the tickets for the events that we're going to this month, and then I think I still have some money in my June budget to purchase a second ticket for another event. So, so I think 100 should be good. And then $25 for miscellaneous, because those miscellaneous items always come up. $800, and I think that should be correct, but let's double check. Yep, $800. All right, so over here in this section is just like a summary of everything we have going on. My budgeted income is $36.50. My total expenses would be the $800 plus my bills, so plus $1462.56. Total expenses would be $2262.56. So if I subtract that from the $36.50 that I am expecting to get, that means I should have $1,387.44 to save. Okay, now I did want to take a second to talk about a few things for the month of July. What I've decided to do is to, aside from looking at the month as a whole, how much I want to spend for all of July, I am also going to go in and budget by paycheck. I think that will make things easier because I'm not gonna like split it down the middle and say I'll spend, you know, half of my dining out the first half of the month, half of my dining out the second half of the month. Because of one of our events fall, it just doesn't make sense to me to do it that way. So I'm also going to start filming paycheck budget with me's, in which I look at the first half of the month, look at the events, and then from these numbers that I allocated for the entire month, I will like break it up per paycheck. I think that's gonna work really well for me. And then from that, I will determine how much from that paycheck I can save. I'll save the rest from the second paycheck. So it'll just be like a more like in-depth look and help me like, I think it'll help me stay in budget because I'm only gonna give myself like, for example, the first 2 weeks of the month, I'll give myself $150 in groceries to buy since we'll be at home mostly. The second half of the month is when we have our visitor and we'll be eating out more, so it'll be more of the dining out budget and things like that. I'm gonna try doing it that way. Like, I'm still pretty new to budgeting. I mean, I started in April, May, June, so I have 3 full months under my belt and they've been rough. So I'm gonna try that for the month of July. And then for the savings portion, I am going to be doing something different than I've been doing the last 3 months. I just kind of have to figure out how I want to handle it, so that's why I'm not mentioning it. But once I do my first paycheck breakdown, I will for sure have a plan on how I want to incorporate my changes and what that's gonna look like, because it's going to be very different than what I've been doing the last 3 months. I don't think what I've been doing has been working for me. It's a little too complicated, and I like to keep my finances as simple as possible so I can actually, you know, do it. So I know it's still very vague, but I promise very soon I'll have like more information on what I'll be doing. And I think and hope that that is going to work out well for me and hopefully help me succeed in this budgeting journey of mine. But anyways, thank you so much for watching today's video. If you haven't done so already, make sure you give it a thumbs up and make sure you subscribe. Bye.